Good evening, everyone. My name's Chris. I'm from the Sunshine Coast, and tonight I'm going to share my story and tell you what Teen Challenge Queensland has meant in my life. I grew up in a good home, middle child of 3 boys in a tight-knit family. Mum and Dad are still together, and we've always been close. There was nothing broken about my family or my upbringing. We had dinner together every night. We went on holidays up the coast. We laughed a lot. I felt safe and supported. And yet, I made choices as a teenager that sent me down a dark path of drinking and drugs. And I kept going down that path long after it stopped being fun. I can't blame circumstances, peer pressure, or a bad crowd. Sometimes people just make bad choices by themselves. For me, it started small. A few drinks on the weekend, a bit of this, a bit of that. It seemed harmless at first, but before long, it wasn't just Friday nights. It was every other night too. And then it was mornings, and then it was most of my life. Despite the drinking and drugs, I was mostly still a functional member of society for a while. I held down jobs and even married Katie, the love of my life, in 2012. She's smart, strong, beautiful, the kind of person who brings out the best in others and always looks for the good in everyone. But alcohol was quietly consuming me, and it quickly went from social to routine to habit. I was drinking at home, at work, anywhere I could. And what started as a lifestyle turned into a kind of survival. I wasn't drinking to feel good anymore. I was drinking to just feel nothing. Katie wanted to settle down and start a family, but in the state I was in, I couldn't offer her anything real. Instead of being her partner in life, I was becoming a burden on her. Katie moved out. Within the first year of our marriage, things started falling apart. I was absent, emotionally checked out, making excuses, telling lies, and late in 2013, I really hit the wall. Katie moved out, and seeing the damage I was causing to everyone around me, my parents stepped right back too. That was probably the hardest thing, knowing that I'd pushed even the people who loved me most to their absolute limits. Then came the night that changed everything. I was driving my car with a blood alcohol limit of 5 times the legal limit when I lost control, smashed my car through a fence, only about 5 houses down from my home. Miraculously, no one was hurt, but I remember sitting there, the engine hissing, glass everywhere, sirens in the distance, and just this crushing silence in my chest. In that moment, I realised this was it. I'd lost everything. My wife had left, my family weren't talking to me, I'd lost my job, and I was all out of hope. It was just me in a sea of broken glass, flashing lights, and silence. I spent that Christmas all alone in an empty townhouse. My family was together, but I was completely cut off, and I'll never forget that day. It was one of the hardest of my life. I'd hit rock bottom, and rock bottom, as it turns out, is very, very quiet. Then something unexpected happened. My dad, who had every right to walk away, showed up at my house. He said, "You're coming with me. Mum's not ready to see you, but I'm not giving up." He moved me into the flat on our family's property, far away from everything. I had no car, no visitors, no distractions, just my dad's support and time to think. It was there that I started to detox, physically and emotionally. I had no choice but to finally face myself, and I really didn't like what I saw. I saw someone who'd broken trust, someone who'd hurt the people he loved most. I saw a version of myself that I didn't even recognise anymore. It was around this time that some of my family friends told my dad about Teen Challenge Queensland. And realising I needed more help than he could give, he drove me there himself. As I walked through those doors in January 2014, I knew that I was broken, but I remember hoping, just hoping, that I wasn't beyond repair. That year at Teen Challenge Queensland was one of the hardest of my life. but also the most important, because they weren't just teaching us how to stay sober, but how to live. They were teaching us how to feel pain without running, how to be human again, and how to face our past so that we may build a future. Like my dad, Katie, my incredible wife, hadn't given up on me yet. She told me she'd stand by me, but I'd have to work for it, and work I did. Katie, you're amazing. At that stage, Katie and I weren't allowed to talk, so we just wrote letters. But writing those letters changed us. We learned how to communicate with each other in ways we never had before. Slowly, honestly, and patiently. That gave us new hope. I still have, and she has, every one of those letters to this day. Communication is actually a big part of the program. Learning how to be more open and honest and let people in. My friend Ben, somewhere out there, from the program, and I kept each other accountable. And thinking about it now, it's this brotherhood with others in the same boat that gets you through so many of the difficult times. You look around and realise you're not alone, and that's powerful. Fitness became a main outlet, as it does for so many in the program. I started running, lifting a bit of weights, learning discipline again. And these days, I spend a lot of my time in the gym. When I look back now, I could kick myself for wasting so much of my life on the things that were destroying me. But I also try to show grace to that version of myself, because recovery isn't just about healing the body, it's about healing the relationship with yourself. Challenging as it was, everything was going beautifully, until 10 months into the program, I relapsed. To anyone looking from the outside, a relapse must seem like the dumbest thing on earth. But at the time, you think you've finally got this thing under control. If there's one thing that relapsing teaches you, it's the addiction has no middle ground. You're either in recovery or you're not. I thought I'd completely blown it, but my caseworker knew what he was doing, and he said, "Chris, this is just a test. You can't change what happened, but you have full control over what you do now." That moment really humbled me. It reminded me that I wasn't bulletproof, and it reignited my commitment to keep going on no matter what. The lessons that I learned at Teen Challenge Queensland still guide me every day. In the end, what got me through was this: the help and the dedication and endless patience of all the staff and volunteers at Teen Challenge Queensland. Friendship and camaraderie from those with me in the program who, despite our differences, were all there for the same reason: to have another shot at living a good life. The love and support from Katie, who had every reason to walk away and never look back, but she didn't. And my wonderful parents, my brothers, who forgave so much and were all just ready to pick up where we'd left off. Today, I'm no longer the person I used to be. Everyone around me can see it, and most importantly, I believe it. I have a beautiful family, 2 boys and a little girl, and a job that I'm proud of. Honestly, a life I never thought I'd get back. Teen Challenge Queensland gave me the tools I need to rebuild, and Katie and my family give me the reason. I realise every day how blessed I am to have them, because so many people go through this alone, with no one waiting for them on the other side. I'm standing here tonight because people believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, and because people like you support this incredible organisation and the work they do. To those who give without always seeing the outcome, thank you. You may never know just how much your support changes lives, but I do, my kids do, and my wife and family do. And to anyone out there who feels like they've gone too far, fallen too hard, lost too much, I just want to tell you, it's not too late, and there's always a way back. Thank you for listening, and being a part of this journey. Have a good night.